What's going on, guys? Matt here, back again with another video. 2022 was a great year. We're into 2023 now, so let's run through my 10 favorite sports card purchases from last year. Really like doing this trend because it's good to run through your purchases and see what your favorite ones were and what your worst ones were and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, we'll get straight into it. So I did want to change it up from last year where I strictly did my 10 favorites only. And I wanted to include three. It's really one, but it's really three, but it's one least favorite purchase. And if you've watched my recent PSA grading videos, you'd probably know who it is and why it is. So Zach Wilson, I made it sort of one of my things in 2022 at the start of the year in terms of I really liked him, really liked his arm talent. Decided I was going to go relatively big onto him. I mean, relatively big for me, 3 numbered prisms. But it's not just the fact that Zach Wilson's not doing too well, but it's more the fact at what I paid for them. And I also broke, I guess, a few of my rules when it came to buying these cards. So the main one being this one here. So obviously I've gotten all these graded, but I always say not to buy cards upon, release day. Wait 2-3 weeks, probably even more if you can. But being a Zach Wilson believer, I didn't want to miss out and have FOMO on all that sort of hype. And on release day, I bought this one for like $450, I think it was. And then, graded it, PSA 9. I think you probably get this one raw for $100 if you really tried to look everywhere. And then, his market kept falling down because he ended up getting injured and playing poorly. And then I tried to capitalize on that even more by buying the purple ice, which was around $250, and then the orange, which is out of $249. I ended up buying that for around $200. So it's not the only Zach Wilson stuff that I have, but yeah, it's it's not one of the greatest ones looking back in hindsight. But the thing is, I'm still patient on him. I'd like to give a 3-year sort of rule with quarterbacks. I think, Zach Wilson might not have shown too much. He still showed a little bit, but there are players out there, like Daniel Jones, who's in his he's in his 5th-year contract at the moment, and look how he's going in the playoffs right now. You've got players like Tua Tagovailoa, Jalen Hurts as well, who's in their 3rd season. So I will give him another season. We'll reevaluate. I don't think I'm going to be buying any more Zach Wilsons, but yeah, I just had to highlight my 3 worst purchases. I still am a believer. So let's go into my top 10 favorite purchases. Coming in at number 10, I got this one at auction. I think it's a fairly sort of iconic card. The Dwayne Wade, LeBron James, Chris Bosh, immaculate triple napkin jersey card out of 99. I got this one on auction for around $150. I think it was off a Facebook sale. Tried to snipe it and ended up getting it. I think it's a really iconic card. I've always loved jersey cards for me personally, and I think just with the Miami Big Three, I like how all 3 on the cards. It does help that obviously it's a Miami card, and this set was released during their Miami period. But I think looking back at this team, it was one of those sort of first super teams that was brought about. Like I still remember when they were being formed. It was pretty crazy. Like, I think Dwayne Wade and LeBron together was enough, but then when you add Chris Bosh, who was one of the best power forwards at the time, it really, really, shook up the NBA world. So, number 10 for me, I think it's going to be a really nice, iconic card. I always try to sell my cards as quickly as I can if I'm, not going to be holding it long term. I'm not sure with this one. It can be a bit long term because all 3 players are going to be Hall of Fame players and they're iconic and all that sort of stuff. But if I can get the right price for it, I'm going to offload it. Number 9 card. I'm glad he's finally back from injury and he's playing very well. LaMelo Ball, red prism out of $299. I paid a hefty price for this, unfortunately. I think I paid around $700 to $750. This is Aussie. And I think the going rate for it now is around $400 to $500. Got this one near the middle of the year. So, obviously the card market was going much better around then. But you guys know I am a massive LaMelo Ball fan. I think his autographs are going to be quite interesting leading into the future because there aren't that many out there. I know he does sign a fair bit, but in terms of on sports cards, I think he's quite tough with that sort of stuff. So a lot of redemptions are not being given back. So I feel like a lot of his stuff is actually, in terms of his autos, are going to be at a high premium. They already are, and I'm interested to see how it will go into the future. But I'm a big LaMelo Ball believer. Charlotte Hornets aren't going too great at the moment, but yeah, they're certainly a much better team when he's playing, and I think he is a very exciting player, very marketable player. So yeah, I've got a lot of. If you've watched my mail days, I did have a lot of LaMelo balls in my previous mail days. So yeah, this one's probably my favorite, just being a numbered prism. Yeah, number 9 for LaMelo Ball. Number 8, my PC guy. Probably not ranking high in terms of value in terms of this list, but Gardner Minshew, the Purple Power. So this one's out of 49, PSA 9. Got this one off an Instagram deal. I think it was around $60, $70. Yeah, I PC Gardner Minshew. I don't really have much else to say about him, but he ended up playing a couple games starting for the Philadelphia Eagles when Jalen Hurts got injured. I do want him to go to another team because I feel like he's got the talent there. I think it's quite harsh to judge him off 2 games. And they're also missing their best offensive tackle in Lane Johnson. So I think a lot of people were saying, oh, Jalen Hurts should be the MVP because look at what Gardner Minshew was doing. But they're also missing, their offensive tackle, which is a massive, massive key in the NFL. So, yeah, I really like this one. It's really short printed, out of 49. I'll come up with some content in the future in terms of my collection. I do want to highlight that sort of stuff, have a bit of fun with you guys so you guys can see what I like to collect. But this is one of my favorite cards from the Gardner Minshew collection. He's almost like a bit of a meme player, but he is quite good though. So it's a bit unfair to call him a meme player, but yeah, massive fan of Gardner Minshew. Yeah, I'm trying to pick up some stuff of him real cheaply down. Yeah, it's very exciting to have PC cards for the sake of being PC versus investments. So Gardner Minshew, Purple Power out of 49 there at number 8. Number 7, 2 cards here because I really like this player, Tyrese Haliburton. Well, this one's more recent, so I think this one was around $350, and then this one was, I think, around $300. So I got this one a little bit earlier. Really like the purple color match. I know it's probably not the closest thing being a purple ice, but yeah, really like this one. This one's out of 175. I think it's really aesthetic going along with the purple ice background. And then we have the optic holo autograph. Really, really nice card. It's on card. PSA 9. These are relatively low in rarity compared to some of the other cards out there, but I bought this card mainly more so because I just thought his optic holo autograph was way underpriced compared to other players in his draft class like Anthony Edwards, and I was always a believer that Tyrese Haliburton, based off his showing when he was on the Sacramento Kings and on the Indiana Pacers, that he was going to be a 20 and 10 player when he was the primary ball handler. And we're looking at him now, and he's a primary ball handler, and he's averaging 20 and 10 on really, really efficient shooting. He potentially, I think he will be an all-star. It's whether he's going to be a starter. He could be. I can't think on the top of my head who the guards are, but he's either in that starting guard position or 6th, 7th man. That's how I feel about him. And people were thinking about the Indiana Pacers as bottom dweller team sort of thing, and they're almost borderline playoff team right now, but he's out injured at the moment, so they'll probably drop off a little bit, and when he comes back, they might be too late, and he might not make the playoffs sort of thing, but I think he's only out for 2-3 weeks anyway, so it's a bit harsh for me to say that, but I think he's that valuable to that team. Rick Carlisle as well, I think they both really go well with each other. Yeah, number 7 for me, Tyrese Haliburton. These 2 cards, I couldn't separate them. I like both of them a lot. Yeah, color match and optic holo autograph there. Number 6 card. You guys would have heard the story already in my most recent Ship My Cards mail day. Usman Garuba. Yeah, Usman Garuba from the Houston Rockets. The story behind this, again, if you want me to go over it again, had a massive night out on a Saturday, and then this auction was ending on the Sunday morning, and I had it on my watch list. Put in a bid for around $200 US, thinking this might push it up, and I don't think it'll be enough to get it. Ended up winning it for around $195. So I really, really like this card. Really happy with it. Yeah, I haven't had a black gold. This is only the second black gold prism I've ever had in my hand in terms of rookies. I had the Marvin Bagley one as well from his rookie year, and I actually packed that one. But having a second one for someone that I actually collect yeah, it means a little bit extra to me. So, yeah, really like Usman Garuba. He's not getting as much playing time. I feel like he's kind of dropped in his performance now, but he didn't really play too much last season as well. So I'll give him a little bit of that. I don't know what's going on with the coaching right now, but he's shown that he's actually he's an all right NBA player. I'm not going to expect him to make an all-star team, but he's still a solid NBA player. There's definitely other players out there in that draft class who I don't rate compared to Usman Garuba. I think, and who I think, sorry, who I don't rate and are getting more hype than Usman Garuba, and I think Usman Garuba at the price point that you're kind of able to buy him for now is not too bad. I'm not going to be banking everything on it, but again, it's more PC for me, if anything. So to get a black gold for someone who in a team that I go for and someone I PC means a lot to me. I will be sending it to PSA grading. Yeah, I'm really excited to see how it will go. Initial thoughts, hopefully a 9. The centering looks quite good on it. But yeah, number 6 there, Usman Garuba. And yeah, don't buy cards when you're feeling tired. Let's say that. So you might have some buyer's regret or buyer's remorse straight after. Number 5 card. This one's more at the start of the year. I think I got it. So Giannis Antetokounmpo. This one I got raw, and I think I paid around $900. And sent it in for grading, and it ended up getting a PSA 8 on the card itself and an autograph 10. I really like this card. I thought it would get a PSA 9, but unfortunately got the PSA 8, but it does sell quite well. Giannis is that player, or I don't think you can say he's the player, but he's up there with the Luka Doncic's, the Nikola Jokic's, as those players that are going to be taking over the NBA for the next 4 or 5 years. And I think Giannis having that title at the moment, yeah, he probably needs to be held probably a little bit higher than those. He's got 2 MVPs. Nikola Jokic might be getting a third the way he's playing, but it's ridiculous how the NBA is going at the moment. But yeah, graded it for $100, I think it was, and so it ended up being $1,000 all up in terms of total spend. I think the actual value of it right now is around $1,400 to $1,500. One of the things I like with this card as well, when you look at it, obviously you look at Giannis, he looks much different. He's much skinnier, and his autograph much different as well. So if you look at his current autograph, I don't know, I don't even know how you describe it. It's a bit more normal, I guess. And I don't know my Greek alphabet, but I'm assuming there's a little bit of Greek alphabet in this autograph. So I think it's quite unique. And I think the more unique autograph should have a little bit of a premium on it. I know it's his rookie anyway, so probably already has a premium anyways. But I think I like it because it's more showing his Greek heritage and all that sort of stuff. I know Shohei Ohtani in MLB, he has an autograph which is written in kanji, which is a form of Japanese alphabet, and that card goes for a premium, but he doesn't sign all his cards in kanji. He signs some of them in English. So I think that's interesting, but with Giannis's rookie card, I really like his autograph. It's quite simple, almost a little bit childlike and all that sort of stuff, but I like it a lot. And to get it in a PSA 8 autograph 10, one of my long-term holds. I believe in Giannis. Believe in him long-term. Number 4 card. Got this one raw at the Hobby Hangout in July. Inspected it when it first when I had it in hand, and I thought genuinely when I bought it then and there it was going to get a PSA 10. And yeah, it was actually the first card I saw in hand of Alperen Sengun in terms of the price when I liked and all that sort of stuff. And as I've said with Usman Garuba, I'm a Houston fan, so wanted to get a sort of a PC going of Alperen Sengun. I don't know if it's controversial, but I sort of want him to have a bit of a bigger role than Jalen Green at the moment. I feel like I can't really trust Jalen Green. He's too inconsistent. I want to see what Alperen Sengun has. I think we know the ceiling right now, the comparison to Nikola Jokic. I'd rather see that right now than Jalen Green. I still like Jalen Green a lot, but I think I want to see more of the ball in Alperen Sengun. I want them to play through Alperen Sengun and just see what he has. But yeah, out of 125, it's a gorgeous, gorgeous card. Sent it off to grading, and no surprise, it came back a PSA 10. So I still have some other Alperen Sengun prisms that I'm going to be sending into grading. I'm just hoping that, in the second half of the NBA season, when Houston, they probably already realize that our season's over anyways, but they just start going, you know what, let's just start putting the ball in Alperen Sengun's hands and play through him and see what we can do, sort of thing, versus what we're doing right now, which is ISO ball is Kevin Porter Jr. and Jalen Green. So I want Houston to play more through him. Hopefully they can, and we can enjoy him a little bit more because he's a really fantastic player to watch. And I suggest you watch his highlights if you have the time on YouTube. Number 3, can't separate these 3, especially considering at the time of recording, he had a really, really great game yesterday. Against the LA Chargers, and if you can kind of work it out in your head, it is my man Trevor Lawrence. I mean, if I had to pick my favorite one, probably be this one being out of 49. Then I'd go this one out of 225, and then I'd go the Red Wave out of 149. I mean, the Red Wave's more short printed, but I just don't like the parallel. In NBA, Red Wave is just a normal parallel, not short printed or anything. In the NFL, it's numbered. But yeah, these 3, happy with these ones. I bought this one for $650-ish. I bought this one for around $300, and then the Red Wave I got for around $250. Yeah, got them graded. Got them whilst they were already graded. And yeah, I like Trevor Lawrence. I've followed his career since high school. I didn't think he would. I was kind of worried about all the sort of praise he was getting leading into the draft. I mean, a lot of people were saying he was a generational quarterback. Thing is, I always said this, and you could even watch my older YouTube videos. The only thing I was worried about with Trevor Lawrence was his reaction to adversity. Had 4 losses in high school and college. He was entering a team that wasn't known for winning too much in the Jacksonville Jaguars, and on top of that, what we ended up finding at the end of the first season was his coach, Urban Meyer, who ended up getting fired midway through the season, was a terrible, terrible, not even just coach, but human being to his team. So the way he's bounced back in his second season with Doug Peterson is crazy. I'm really excited to see his growth. The reason I've sort of bought into Zach Wilson was I wanted to kind of buy into that next quarterback that was going to jump up in price. So I think Josh Allen was one that I had a little bit of, but I had a lot of base stuff. Justin Herbert's sort of the next obvious one. And yeah, I had a few select cards. Then I thought, Zach Wilson was at that price point, which I think was low enough for me to enter at. And I kind of avoided Trevor Lawrence, but then with the release sort of coming, further and further in, Trevor Lawrence's cards ended up dropping a little bit more, and I saw a few good signs, and I decided, you know what, I need to enter the market. I ended up going pretty hard and buying 3 cards. So yeah, I'm really, really excited to see how he go next week against the Chiefs. I know a lot of people are writing him off already, but it doesn't matter. I want to see how he goes in the next few years. I think he's going to be that one that jumps up next. And yeah, he's got the backing behind it, the college career. I think a lot of people know the hype behind Trevor Lawrence. I'm really excited, really, really excited for Trevor Lawrence and to see what he'll do. Really want to see what he can do. Number 2 card, we have Yao Ming. So the second and the first card, if you go to watch my videos from January 2022, I did put out a wish list for cards I did want to get that year, and the card that comes at number 1, spoiler alert, is one of those cards, and this one is similar to one of the cards that I did want. So, I ended up, one of my cards on the wish list was a Yao Ming rookie autograph. Yao Ming was one of the reasons I got into basketball, and being Asian myself and having a Chinese player in the NBA was big. It inspired me a lot growing up, and seeing his play and seeing sort of defying what people thought of Asian basketball players, because we didn't really have anyone before him that was massive like Yao, and he was an amazing player. So I ended up getting this one of Instagram. His name was, you might know him on Instagram actually, Slab Mafia Sports, relatively big Instagram page, and he had this one for, I think it was 350 US, so around, let's say 550 Aussie. And yeah, it's not the card that I actually wanted, but I'm glad that it's on card still. It's in his, Rockets uniform. So yeah, I really like this one. It's out of 999. Probably won't get it graded because there's some scratching at the very top here, but again, it's more for my PC, so I just like having this card in my hands. Something that I won't sell. I'm a massive Yao Ming fan at the end of the day. So happy with this one. Happy with this card. It's number 2. Unfortunately, not number 1. You guys will know why number 1 will be number 1 in a sec. But to have a Yao Ming on card rookie auto, happy with that one. And maybe keep an eye in the future for another Yao Ming autograph. Yeah, maybe a little bit of a spoiler alert, but I may have found another one that I've purchased. At number 1, if you're from America, I apologize because you probably don't know who this guy is. But if you're in Australia, you 100% know who this guy is. It's Dustin Martin. And yeah, this was a card that I wanted to get in Hobby Hangout. The first one I went to, the second one I went to, the wish list that I made in early 2022, this was one of the cards. I saw it a few times. It was just at prices that I wasn't comfortable with. And then there were rumors going around that, you know, Dustin might leave Richmond and all that sort of stuff. But once he announced he was staying and essentially becoming a Tiger for life, I was just like, you know what, stuff it, let's get the card. And I guess this is one of your more, I think this is your iconic AFL modern sports card. You know, if you're looking at the NBA and all that sort of stuff, you might look at the Luka Doncic one and that. But this one for the AFL, this is your go-to almost, because the accolades that this guy comes with, the marketability, everyone knows who he is and all that sort of stuff. I really like this one. I'm just not too sure if I'd send it into grading. I'm still, I don't know if it would get a 10 just with that streak down here, but it's not really the marker running out. I think it's just because he went over it with the autograph and all that sort of stuff. But I did buy this one for, I think it was $800. I had a coupon code for $50 off, so it ended up being like $850 down to $800. And yeah, when he announced he was staying, I was just like, I need to get this card. So and finally got this card. And the best thing about this, or not the best thing, one of the best things about this one, and again, if you're from America, you probably won't understand this. Australians, not really Australians, I'll say AFL collectors would understand this, but when you look at the back, it is a low numbered card so it's out of 400, but it's 006. So 001 in AFL cards and jumper number. So his jumper number is actually number 4. So number 1 and number 4 would be the high sort of premium cards, and then your number 2, number 3, number 5, number 6 going down would have less of a premium. I mean, it's not too noticeable or anything like that, but at the price that I got it for, I felt like I was getting a high numbered sort of card. But 006, I think you'd almost say it's his 6th best draft signature out there. So to have this one in my collection, yeah, I'm happy. And yeah, I don't have much else to say. I'm really happy with this one. Number 1 for me, Dustin Martin, draft signature card. Thinking about getting some of his other rookie cards as well. He's got his draft card itself, and then there's a few others. I'm not too sure. I think there's 2 other main ones, but I'll look into it in the future. But for now, I'm just going to enjoy his draft signature in my collection. So that's it for my top 10 favorite sports card purchases from 2022. Very excited for 2023. Hopefully the list next year is just as good. If you enjoyed the content, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button down below, and also let me know down below what your favorite sports card purchase was of 2022. If you do want to see my top 10 sports card purchases from 2021, I will put it up in the top corner over here. And yeah, I appreciate you guys as always, and I'll see you guys all in future videos. Take care.